What have we got today? Shoulder pet quality of life, more colours to choose from, possible future creature TLC votes, homestead items, and an empty community crunch. Hello survivors, I'm GP bringing you all the latest ARK news. 2 weeks running with a bare bones crunch, but on the bright side it means we are another week closer to all the juicy information and the release of ARK Ascended. It's just a very painful wait. But I do have a few things to talk about that is hopefully something new to many of you. The ARK Discord was a buzz last night with so much chatter, but there were a few interesting mentions in there. Jat was asked a question as to whether ARK Ascended will see an easier way to access shoulder pet inventories rather than the old way in ARK Evolved, where you have to throw them from your shoulder onto the ground, catch up with it and check the inventory, which in some situations can be pretty risky. Jack confirmed with a simple yeah, indicating that there is some quality of life changes regarding this that should hopefully make life a bit easier, especially for the really useful shoulder mounts that you may need to access the inventory of frequently. However, he did later on confirm this once again, along with the mention of more colours being added to the game to be able to create more dyes for painting and colours that you'll be able to get through mutations. I'm very excited about this because I've always found the colours to be pretty restrictive in ARK Survival Evolved, so hopefully the increase in colour options is going to be pretty decent. I'm personally hoping for an orange colour that doesn't just look like poo. There was mentions of future creature votes and Dolly was asked if they know when they will resume, but right now they've not got a date in mind, and this is because they are waiting to see how the meta may have changed with all the changes in the game, and therefore see whether the players may feel the need for different types of creatures than what was previously submitted during the votes. However, someone did make mention of creature TLCs, to which Jat responded saying creature TLC vote could be a fun one for the future. Now obviously I want to point out here that Jat isn't saying that this will happen, but the idea of TLC votes is now with him, and I do know that when good ideas are given to Jat or Dolly and said that they do take them back to the team for thoughts and possible consideration. And this idea I think is really good. I've seen a lot of people respond to the community creature votes saying that they'd prefer to have TLCs done on existing creatures instead of adding new creatures. And it's now hopeful that this may become a thing in the future. So yes, very exciting if this does happen, and you may want to give some TLC ideas and consideration just in case this voting actually happens. Now I think we probably all know by now that the only tech items that will be available on day 1 will be the items you can unlock through the island bosses. And the items unlocked by other maps such as cryopods won't be available until their respective DLC releases, right? Although there is a possibility that cryopods could come earlier if the developers feel the need for it. But there was a question posted regarding tech dedicated storage and whether that would be available at launch. To which Jat responded that as Dedi storage came with the Homestead update, which brought some of the Structures Plus items into the base game as opposed to coming with a specific DLC, that tech dedicated storage will be available on day 1. Therefore, this means all of the homestead items that include triangle structures, large walls, stairs, flexible pipes and wires, double doors and fence supports should all be available at launch, which I'm very glad to hear this, particularly for the building side of the game. Jat and Dolly have also both showed their playtime so far on ARK Ascended. Jat already has over 500 hours of playtime, and he has assured us that this is a real screenshot and not faked. Dolly, however, posted her own with only 17.3 hours. I was curious as to whether this was real, but somebody asked her what the size of the game was. and she did say that she ended up cropping that information out of the image. So I believe this is real, and therefore what it also shows is 32 achievements. And ARK Survival Evolved also has 32 achievements, so I think this likely indicates that at release there won't be any new achievements. But I'm still hoping this will be something they add over time throughout development and with DLC specific ones. In regards to the size of the game, that's not been revealed yet and probably won't be revealed until it's released. There's been a lot of chatter recently about TwitchCon in Vegas that will be happening next weekend, and there's been a lot of hype about it because Noise are going to be there. These are the people who are the ones running the Arcade Ambassador program, but Wildcard themselves have not confirmed a presence at TwitchCon, and they have previously said that they pretty much aren't looking at doing any of these events in the lead up to the launch because they are too busy on development. I'm personally not expecting anything myself at TwitchCon, and I don't feel there's anything to suggest or indicate that they will be revealing anything there. It is my belief that Wildcard will be revealing the trailer and launching the game through their own community crunches, and not on any external platform such as gaming events or live streams. And finally, just a quick mention on the whole Steam 2 weeks coming soon page. You may have heard people referencing certain stuff on the Steam documentation that talks about needing to have a coming soon page published 2 weeks before a game is playable on Steam, leading people to speculate on a delay if it is not published on Steam by Tuesday the 17th of October. Well, there's too much detail to go into here in this video, but to keep this very brief, the only early access release requirements is to create a product page that will be private, for a Q&A to be completed by Wildcard, and then for Valve to review both the product page and Q&A. At this point, assuming Valve is happy, the game and the product page can be published at any point, including at release. The whole coming soon page is optional. However, if a developer decides to use a coming soon page, then it needs to be 2 weeks before launch. It is my belief that Wildcard are unlikely to use a coming soon page, and therefore reveal the Steam product page along with Microsoft and Sony store pages at release. Whether that is with the trailer or shortly after the trailer, I don't know. So the whole needing to be on Steam 2 weeks before release is incorrect and optional. So don't start thinking if it's not out by Tuesday that it's going to be a delay, because that is not the case. That's all, survivors. Only 2 more weekends to go. It is getting exciting, even though things are pretty frustrating. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with all the latest ARK news.